Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 10 February 2022, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. It is time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And what a doozy we have for you tonight. 29 items for sale, and it is pure wheelhouse goodness. We got GECs, we got Chris Reeves, we got a couple fixed blades. We have rare, beloved, and discontinued Spydercos. It's going to be a blast. Before we get into the meat of the sale, a little bit of housekeeping. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment, then I'll reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, at the very top, you're going to find 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first one is to my primer for buyers video. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of, you guessed it, the terms of the sale. So if you're new to this weekly event, please watch that and be familiar with it. It will help your buying experience immeasurably. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection, that video explains how it all works from the consignors perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So the description, very important, has 3 sections. First, the 3 video links. Second, the terms of the sale. And then third, maybe the most important, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps and pricing. In that pricing column, the number to the left of the slash is your price of the knife as shown. Number to the right as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. And this week there will be no next day sharpening available. I'm still trying to catch up from my nasty little virus. So I need to get the backlog whittled down. So probably this week and next week as well, no next day sharpening for sale knives. Okay. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing for a knife on the list, that has already been bought and paid for. No need to send a message for that. I think that's it for housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, the leftovers from last week. You're looking at them. Ha! Thanks, guys. Sold everything last week. Well, except for that one I kept. So right to the fresh stuff tonight. First up, from Bark River Knives, Escanaba, Michigan, USA. You do not see a box because there ain't one. I mean, who really needs it? It's not like a Bark River box is that special. But we have the Bark River Bravo tactical style leather sheath, and inside it is a pretty cool Bravo 1. One feature of the Bark River sheath I've always loved, to keep you from slicing your retention strap. It just sort of tucks in back there. Love that. So let's do that and then extract the knife. Okay. Guys, this is a pretty special Bravo 1. Not only is the Bravo 1 blade in CPM 3V, it's fairly virginal, I think. And this is the Bravo 1 4 1/4 inch blade, 5.5 inch handle. This one's sporting red burlap micarta with hollow pins and white liners. Just nicely done. We're going to call this near mint to like new, no box. This knife would have run web retail, not MSRP, but web retail, about $275 brand new from Knife Ship Free or DLT or wherever. The 3V Bravo ones are currently out of stock everywhere. But we're not going to hold you up. Not $275 for this one. How about $225? $225 like it is. $245 if you'd like to ship with an Apostle P Edge. That's the Bark River Bravo 1 in 3V. Let's put that back in its little pouch and move on to the next one. Next up, in a ambidextrous pancake style KSF leather sheath, we've got one from Fiddleback Forge. And not just any grunt at Fiddleback Forge. Check out the spine stamp. It says Fiddleback by AR. That's Andy Roy. So I think that means this is a Andy Roy handmade Fiddleback. A2 steel. Got the spalted finish. Very high convex grind on the Fiddleback Forge Recluse. A2 steel, 3 3/4 inches of very racy looking drop point loveliness. Backed up by a 4.5 inch handle, and nice piece of work is this handle. Black G10 bolsters, box elder burl, scales, black pins, black G10 liners. Superb in the hand. That, guys, is a beautifully designed and built knife. So I found a knife from an obsolete or out of stock listing on Knife Ship Free for pretty much this exact knife, and it sold at $435. These are currently out of stock. This one can be yours, and I'm going to call it near mint to like new, no box. This one can be yours for $350 like it is, and then $370 with an Apostle P Edge. It's the Fiddleback Forge Andy Roy Recluse. Next up, here's a knife that kind of blew me away when I pulled it out of the big box, because I had this knife last week in a different colorway, and it's the only one I've ever seen. Well, let's make it 2 in consecutive weeks. So, from the Schrade Cutlery Company since 1904, this is the Schrade SUSA1 in custom red pick bone. Okay, nothing to see here, right? Except that there is. Because this is not really a Schrade. It is the last US-made Schrade branded folding knife. Built in 2006 or 2007. If it looks familiar to you GEC fans, that's because it's a Great Eastern Cutlery number 23 Trapper. Closed end, and this is serialized number 22, and there were 400 made. Got that gorgeous houndstooth Schrade shield that's slightly proud of that red pick bone. The knife is 4.5 inches in closed length. This guy's has a man's pull. That is a solid 9. You've got that big etch on the drop point main, the French nicks with the match strikers. Walk and talk, stunning. Space secondary. Schrade Cutco, 1 of 400. Now these have a little bit of blade rub, probably just from muscling the blades in and out, because the alignment isn't really that horrible. The main blade on the left is really close. The spay is a little bit to the right, quite a bit to the right. But walk and talk are exemplary. We're going to call this near mint to like new in box, and they're unobtainium. Yes, they made 400, but other than seeing one in my sale the last 2 weeks, I don't see them. So we're going to do this one for $120, like it is, $120. Just try buying a GEC 23 for that, guys. And then if you want me to sharpen both blades, $150. That's the Schrade SUSA1 Trapper, GEC made. Next up, and you guys know that I love Great Eastern Cutlery, and I kind of poo-poo the Queen stuff, but here's an interesting knife. This cardboard tube is a resale tube from Old Town Cutlery. Nice labeling, though. It's a Morgan number 01 Jumbo Trapper in red jig bone from the 1990s, the Bill Howard era. Mint, new in box. Old Town classified it. I would concur, although they don't own it anymore. Powerful snap, rare pattern. And then the original Morgan box is inside the tube. Okay. And the knife. Oh, the knife. Look at that, guys. That is some beautiful bone. Oh. Gorgeous jigging, gorgeous die. Triple lined nickel silver bolsters, plain end caps, brass liners. Closed length is 4 1/8, so it is indeed a jumbo. You have a big, broad muskrat clip main with a Morgan etched. Beautiful polish. I will call that pull an 8.5. Walk and talk are beautiful. And then the secondary blade is a spay. A little bit of blade rub. And again, I think that's just a function of the heavy pull weight and putting sideways torque on those blades, because the centering is really nice for a Queen-made knife. We're going to call this near mint to like new in box. You saw the price when Old Town sold it at $175. We're going to do it for $130 like it is, and then $160 if you'd like my edge on both blades. That's the Morgan number 01 Jumbo Trapper. Next up, speaking of Great Eastern Cutlery, we have one from the Northfield Unexcelled Premium Pocket Knives line. It's a number 25 Barlow, model 252117 in ironwood. This is a little stunner right here. Got that big, round, plain bolster with the unXL'd stamp. Gorgeous ironwood. Single spear blade. Cut swedge, long pull. 1095 steel, of course. I'm going to call the pull 6.5. Walk and talk perfect. Centering right down the middle. We'll call this near mint in tube. Just a little storage wear on those bolsters. It comes about easily and it comes off just as easily with a quick little flitz. So let's do 175 on this one. 175 like it is. 190 with an Apostle P edge. The GEC Northfield number 25 Barlow. Next up, got another one from Great Eastern, and it's another Northfield, one of my favorite tubes. This is a number 38 English whittler, model 380321, with burnt orange jig bone. Gorgeous tube for a gorgeous knife. And this is going to come with the English whittler button. And here's the knife. Oh my. We've got rat tail bolsters and end caps. Or I guess they're all bolsters on this knife since it's an opposite end. Genuine split back whittler. And that burnt orange jig bone is just beautiful. It's like a coarse peach seed, and then it's been kind of buffed. It's just gorgeous. Then you've got that Sheffield style, very plain shield. Main is a Warncliffe on a cam tang. Cut swedge and a nail neck. Beautiful cam tang action. About a 7 pull. Got a secondary pen on a half stop. And a secondary coping blade on a half stop. Just everything beautiful in this knife. Perfect blade alignment, perfect walk and talk. Condition on this one's going to be like new in tube with button. They're out of stock, of course. I'm seeing sold listings on eBay between $220 and $260. This one a beautiful example, like new in tube with button. Your price $220, like it is $255 with my edge on all 3 blades. The GEC Northfield number 38 English whittler. Next up, this is the save me from myself moment. Guys, yes it is. Wow. I've been after one of these for 5 years. 6 years. From the Northfield unexcelled line of premium pocket knives from Great Eastern Cutlery. We just have a number 64 Babylon Hill, model 641113, LBSG in burnt stag. It is a red S bearing tube cap, which means it was sold store only, and we'll get into why. So the Babylon Hill is one of 2 knives made in honor of one Ben Hogan, a rascal of 19th century oil country, an alcoholic who came to Christ and preached the gospel in his second life. Of course, he tried to do it near his hometown, and he wasn't really received that well. Does he remind me of anyone? Yes, me. So I got a thing for Ben Hogan. So you have the 65 Ben Hogan, and then you have the 64 Babylon Hill. Babylon Hill was the name of Ben Hogan's resort and gambling emporium before he found Jesus and got sober. Just check it out, guys. Check it out. Look at this big thing. Oh, it's a big old long skinny clip point blade with a swing guard and a lockback. And just so you know, 0 blade play on this one. Polished blade. The burnt stag is nicely matched in appearance and in profile. There is one issue with the knife that I think is why Bill designated it a store only. There's a void in the stag behind the bolster, and it looks like in hafting somebody tried to over haft it to get rid of that, and the lines get very light. Just so you know. The condition of this knife, though, is going to be near mint to like new in tube. And these guys are unobtainium. I've had an eBay search saved for this knife for 6 years and haven't been able to buy one. I've watched a couple sell that were in cover materials I didn't love. It's a very rare day that you can touch one of these under $500. Today's your day. Your price, $450, like it is, $470 with an Apostle P edge. That is the Northfield number 64 Babylon Hill lockback stag. Next up, another one from Great Eastern Cutlery. This from the handcrafted Titty cutlery line. It is a number 981316W. So it's a 98 whittler in red linen micarta. This knife is a monster and a masterpiece. That is 4 13/16 inches of jumbo cigar in a split back whittler pattern. I love how Bill used a brass wedge spacer so you can really see it. And guys, we're talking about almost 5 inches of knife, and I want you to look at the blade alignment. Look how far the tip of that main blade extends into the tang area of the 2 secondaries. You've got a gorgeous, very slightly recurved clip point main. That's about a 7.5 pull, 7.5 on a cam tang, and its action is beautiful. Then you got a pen secondary that's as big as a main spear on some knives. And then a secondary coping that's as big as a sheep's foot main on some knives. Walk and talk, all stellar. Plain bolsters, hot dog shield, red linen, near mint in tube. I'm going to say storage wear only. You know, just some scuffing from the wax paper in those bolsters, but that's it. I only found one pricing reference on eBay for this knife, and it was a $5.99 buy it now that sold on a best offer accepted. So obviously somewhere north of 500 bucks. This one can be yours for $425 like it is. $460. I sharpen all 3 blades. It's the GEC Titty number 98 whittler. Next up, a hard 90-degree turn from the Great Eastern Cutlery portion of the sale. This, I teased you with this one in my heads up video yesterday. This is an SOG folder made famous by the legendary Nut and Fancy. It's an FRN handled knife, and it says SOG everywhere. In the traction inserts, on the clip, on the blade, I don't know, probably inside the frame, I don't know. So it is a spring-assisted knife with the faux arc lock, so it's only on one side, and it's really a piston lock. So spring-assisted, titanium nitride-coated blade in AUS 8. Blade length is 3.5. Handle is 4 3/4. That tip is deep carry and ambidextrous. So you pull back the arc lock, fold the knife. Now these were notorious for blade play, minor blade play, but they all really had some. And this one's really free of it. You can muscle a little vertical play in, but that's really it. Superb blade profile, I think, and great in the hand. So these are discontinued and out of stock. I think the last web pricing I could find for them was like 65 bucks. This one can be yours. Shipped, priority mail, $40. $60 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That is the SOG Aegis in Digicam. Next up, we got one from Spyderco in a little box. This is the Spyderco Urban in AEBL, a knife made for the European market in Europe. This is a Maniago, Italy produced knife in kind of a flat dark earth or a brown FRN. You got a deep carry paperclip clip, reversible left or right tip up. It is one hand openable, but it is a back spring slip joint, and this one's got pretty stiff action. Probably could just loosen up that pivot just a little bit. And there is a half stop. Blade length on the Urban is 1 11/16, so under 2 inches. Backed up by a 3.5 inch handle. Superb in the hand. Very positive in its blade positioning. Centering I'm calling very close on this knife. Condition is like new in the box. These are currently out of stock at all the websites I looked at. When they were available, they were $65. And I found 2 recent sold listings on eBay for this model at $65. This one can be yours for $50, like it is. $70 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Urban. Next up, from Chris Reeves Knives, Idaho made, a small Sebenza 21 in Singo with micarta inlay. Here's your birth card. Born on January 29, 2013. Here's the knife, and it's a little cutie. We have the original lanyard post, but an aftermarket paracord lanyard. Original lanyard not present. Very little to no handle wear on this knife. The micarta looks like it hasn't even been in hand. There's your Insingo blade. Now this one does have a user applied edge, and for some reason, somehow, our stone got into the hollow grind just ever so slightly right behind the edge on both sides. Pretty minor, especially if you're buying this knife for a user. In fact, it might take you a couple days to notice it if I didn't point it out. Very, very slight. And it does have a user-applied polished edge. I am going to give you a sharpened price on this one, though, just in case. There's your lock engagement, right where you want it. It's rock solid. Nice free blade. Hard to tell, but the centering is Sebenza perfect. And let's see. Yep. Not quite a free dropper, but close. These are, of course, discontinued and out of stock. Last retail web pricing for them was $475. Sold listings on eBay between $430 and $455. This one can be yours. $400. Near mint in box blade marking from sharpening noted. So $400 like it is, $430. I do my full Sebenza treatment on this one. That's the Chris Reeves small Sebenza 21 in Singo micarta. That last part very important because the next knife is another small 21 in Singo. And here it is. This little newer knife comes in the new big box. Small Sebenza 21 in Singo, plain Jane. This one born June 27th of 2017. It's got the new 59 to 60 hardness spec. It's a PJ, blue hardware. Some very slight trails going on. It's been carried a little. It's been used a little. It's been sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. And it has been used very little since, so we're not even going to think about sharpening this again. There's your lock engagement, Sebenza perfect, rock solid. Silky smooth action, perfect blade centering. And that does have a free dropping blade because I tuned it. This one is ready to throw in the pocket and use the heck out of it. And it's a beautiful example. These are discontinued and out of stock, as you well know. Last available pricing for them was $375. This one can be yours with an ApostleP edge. $325 shipped priority mail. That's in your inventory as Chris Reeves small Sebenza 21 in Singo, PJ, TAP. Next up, time to continue the Spyderco party. Look at that box, boys. That was not made last week. This is a Cali 3. And it's kind of an older Cali 3. Notice the black G10 has been melted. I use that in air quotes. I'm sure it was done with an abrasive. Especially on the whole access side. Down here in the groove, a lot of radius going on. VG10 blade. 3 inches of blade, 4 inches of handle, Seki City mid-lock lockback, Seki City perfection, super smooth. Lock bar is dead flush in both positions. They're not really that flickable, kind of like a native, not super flickable, just smooth. More of a sweeper. Lockup is rock solid. Blade centering is perfect. Condition, we're going to call excellent to near mint. Handle mod noted. It does make it more comfortable. These are discontinued and out of stock. I found one sold listing on eBay for a knife that was more of a new condition knife for $126. This one can be yours. $85 like it is, $105 with my edge on it. That's in your inventory is Spyderco Cali 3 BK G10 VG10. Again, that last part's important because I have another Cali 3 coming up. And here is the next Cali 3. And this one, guys, is going to be the Rob's pick of tonight's sale. And I think you're going to know why in just a minute. This is the Cali 3, a factory sprint run. No wholesaler, distributor, or retailer attached to it that I could see. We got green G10, and we have a blade of HAP 40 clad with SUS 410. And I think you can see the line of demarcation between core and cladding. So it's got that, what is it, Hitachi HAP 40? Oh, it's just scary. Scary, hard, sharp, wear-resistant tool steel. Rock solid lockup. The action on this one, I'm going to call fresh and tight. I think you know what it's like, barely ever been out of the box. It probably could use a little bit of lube and a little bit of use. There's your blade centering. And I think that clad steel makes it a little rough rolling around the lock bar. I just have a hunch about that. So what a great user. They're discontinued and out of stock. Sold listings on eBay running between $180 and $225 for this knife. It's a classic. One of the most classic Spyderco designs ever. And probably the coolest steel and handle configuration ever. Your price $170 like it is, $195 with my edge on it. That is the Rob's pick. The Spyderco Cali 3 GN HAP 40. Next up, we're just having a Cali extravaganza here. This one, the big Cali, the 3.5 in the standard configuration. So instead of having a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle, we've got a 3 7/16 blade and a 4 1/4 inch handle, but everything else pretty much the same. And that extra length all seems to hang out past the pinky. Just a ton of real estate. Beautiful leaf-shaped blade, gorgeous curve that presents that blade down into the work. VG10 blade, rock solid lockup, beautifully smooth. Blade centering is perfect. This one is like new in the box. Discontinued and out of stock. Last retail pricing I could find from a website was $135. I did find one sold listing for a knife no nicer than this, because this is like new in box and mechanically beautiful. That knife sold for $136. This one can be yours at $110. $110 like it is. $130 with my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Cali 3.5. Next up, more Spyderco in the beautiful box. This one is a Stretch II Brown G10 ZDP. Oh! Oh! My Lord. That makes me weak in the knees, boys. Brown G10. Lots of stainless steel. Black clip, bright hardware. Satin blade. ZDP 189 blade steel. Sal Glesser design. Lock up, rock solid. Action, smooth and lovely. Centering is perfect. Here, turn my page. Yeah. Condition is like new in the box. Out of stock at $234. I think this was just a factory sprint. Sold listings on eBay running between $200 and $290. Kind of a big spread. This one can be yours. It's like new in box. It's basically a perfect example. I see sold listings between $200 and $290. We're going to do this one at $195. Like it is, and then $215 if you'd like my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Stretch II BRN G10 ZDP. Next up, another Spyderco, another one from Seki City, another lockback. It is an Endura FFG in gray. So it's a standard Endura FFG with gray FRN handle. Full flat ground, VG10 blade, rock solid lockup, nice free drop in action. Blade centering is perfect. Condition is like new in the box. They are in stock at your favorite web retailer right now for $95. Or just buy this one. Shipped, priority mail, all in, no taxes. $75 like it is. $95 with my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Endura FFG Gray. G-R-Y. Why mention the color? Well, because of this knife. It's another Spyderco. It is another Endura FFG. This one in brown FRN. Same knife, different color. Beautiful brown fiberglass reinforced nylon. Beautiful black Spidey clip. Seki City midlock lockback with the boy dent. I got rock solid lockup. I have a pretty smooth, nice blade action. I got blade centering that's on the money. And I have condition like new in the box. Just like the gray ones, these are currently in stock and available at your favorite web retailer for $95 plus tax plus shipping, or just buy this one. It's already been inspected by TheApostleP Knife Service, and it's got my stamp of approval, and it's $20 cheaper than buying it from a retailer, or more, because that $75 includes postage and sales tax. $75 like it is, $95 sharpened. That is the Spyderco Endura FFG BRN. Next up, another one from Spyderco, but we're going to change directions. We're going to bring you one from Taichung. This is the Nilaka, and it is the Nilaka Generation 2. So this is the Spyderco folding Puko, right? And I can't remember the name of this designer. Well, there it is. Pekka Tuominen. Yeah. Eric says it so much better than I do. But isn't that a beauty? Love that faceted handle. Just like a Puko. Just like a finished Puko. Beautiful action on phosphor bronze. Rock solid lockup. Heavy stainless steel liner lock. Super smooth, perfect centering. 3.5-inch blade, 4.5-inch handle. Unbelievable in the hand. Now this is a Gen 2 Nilaka. The first ones were a 0 flat grind. They found that the S30V, which the steel these are made of, was a little too chippy with that sort of, 3 degrees per side 0 grind. So they put a little micro bevel on these. Still very thin behind the edge, but a lot more durable. This one, the condition is going to be like new in the box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. They are unobtainium. I couldn't find any current or sold listings on eBay for this knife. So the guys got them. They're hanging on to them. Your price on this one, $200 like it is. $220 with my edge. And guys, if I sharpen this, it'll be a freaking Ferrari. Is that a finished car? No. The Spyderco Nilaka. Next up, more Spyderco. But we're coming home to Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth, for a paramilitary 2. Just a paramilitary 2, except that it's not. This one, the dealer exclusive for Blue Ridge, which is the distributor, and Knife Works, which is the retailer, in green. One might call it forest green G10. So factory fresh, the clip has not been moved. Blade steel is Carpenter CTS 204P. Blade is almost free dropper. I mean, close enough, right? Just needs to be used a little bit. Blade centering is perfect. Lockup is rock solid. Condition absolutely like new in the box. This is in your inventory as Spyderco Pair 2 GRN 204P. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. eBay sold listings running between $190 for one that was a rat, all the way up to $260. This one, $210 like it is. $235 with an ApostleP edge. Next up, these are creeping up in value, my friends. Another Spidey, another one from Golden, another pair of 2. We like to call this the Burple S110. The Burple S110. Because the handle is definitely Burple G10. Again, factory fresh clip, still in the tip down position. The blade, CPM S110V. Factory fresh. Virginal. Rock solid lockup. Nearly free dropping blade. Perfect blade centering. Rock solid lockup. These are currently in stock, but not everywhere. Some people are out of them. Current map pricing on this knife is $215. This one can be yours for $160. $160, a beautiful like new in box example. Then $185 if you like my edge on it. That's the Spyderco Pair 2 Burple S110. Okay, next up, we got twins. So pay attention. This is going to be a Spyderco from Golden. The box is a little worse for the wear. It is the KnifeWorks exclusive Spyderco Military in dark green G10 and the CTS 204P blade. There is your G10 handle. There is your polished clip. There's your stunning action. The rock solid lockup. Lock engagement is right where you want it. Blade centering is going to favor the lock side. Rather, I'm not going to say it's close. I'm going to call it off. You might loosen the pivot and it might move over a little bit, but the pivot's already very free. Condition is like new in the box. So this is in your inventory as Spyderco Military GRN 204P number 1. Centering's pretty far off. The box is a little damaged, okay? They're discontinued. They're out of stock. They are selling. Sold listings on eBay. between $250 and $325. This one, $200, shipped priority mail, $225 with my edge on it. Spyderco Military Grn 204P number 1. Next up is Spyderco Military Grn 204P number 2. Same model, same KnifeWorks exclusive, same dark green G10 handle, same polished clip, same CTS 204P blade, factory fresh and new. Lockup is rock solid. There's your engagement. There's your free dropping blade. The centering on this one is very close, but does favor the right slightly. So it's got a little better centering than the first one, a little cleaner box than the first one. So this is going to be 210 rather than 200, 235 sharpened. Okay, that is Spyderco Military Grn 204P number 2. Next up, from Spyderco by way of Taichung, Taiwan, from the pen of one Brad Southard, this is the Southard Black, the murdered Southard Black G10, black titanium nitride, titanium frame, blackened clip, G10 over travel stop, non-inserted titanium frame lock, ball bearing flipper. It does have a carburized lock face and it works perfectly. There's your engagement. It's rock solid. There's just a little bit of that letting you know it's there stick, just like you want. Blade centering is perfect. Condition is absolutely like new in the box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. The last web pricing available was $270 for a brand new one. I think I just found 2 eBay sold listings. One was kind of a beat up used one at $185. One like new condition one sold at $325. This one can be yours, $225, $225 like it is, $250 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Spyderco Southern BK in your inventory. Why the BK? Because coming up next we have another Southern. This is in the standard brown configuration. So bead blasted and tumbled titanium frame, stonewashed clip, brown G10 scale, brown G10 over travel stop, blade on a ball bearing pivot mechanism with a flipper, CTS 204P, beautifully stonewashed in Taichung. There's your lock engagement, a carburized non-steel inserted titanium frame lock, works flawlessly. Centering is perfect. Condition like new in box. I believe I cut open the baggie for the video. It had never been out of the bag. Inside the box. Discontinued knife, out of stock. eBay sold listings between $250 and $335. These are going up. This one can be yours. A beautiful like new in box example, $200 like it is. $225 with my edge on it. That's the Spyderco Southern BRN for brown. Next up, the last Spyderco in tonight's sale. This one, from Taichung, Taiwan. It's a Sage II. The homage to the Reeves integral lock. Thus, the superfine bead blasted titanium frame. Not coated, not colored, just blasted. The non-inserted, carburized a la Chris Reeve frame lock. There is your engagement. The lockup is rock solid. The action is smooth and lovely. The centering is perfect. The condition, wow. It's like new in the box, guys. I can't see a mark on it. I do have old eyes, but I don't see a mark on it. Yep. A piece of history. So, long discontinued and out of stock. Sold listings on eBay run between $219 and $315. This one can be yours, and it's a sweetie. Like new in the box. $220 shipped priority mail. $240 with my edge on it. The Spyderco Sage II. Okay, we're going to finish with 3 GEC knives. Pay attention on these next two because they're very similar, okay? We got a Lyle's Lick Creek number 14. Look at the picture of the young Lyle Fry on the tube. What a good looking kid. This is model 142216 in Gabon Ebony. And it does have Lyle's Story of Duke. So this is a 2-blade Lick Creek in Gabon Ebony. All steel construction. 3 1/16 inches in closed length. We have a beautiful spear main. Cut swedge long pull. Did I forget to wipe the oil off that? I did. Trust me, it's like new. Pull weight, 6.5. I'm going to call the walk and talk good. It might get excellent if you use it. It's just a little tight. There's your pen secondary. Centering is beautiful on both blades. All steel construction, Gabon Ebony. Like new in tube with story. Your price, $165, $165 like it is. $190. I sharpened both blades. That's GEC Titty number 14 Lick Creek number 1, the 2-blader. Next up, it is another Great Eastern Cutlery Titty Lyle's Lick Creek Boys Knife, also in Gabon Ebony of 142116. So this is going to be a single spear. And this is also going to come with Lyle's Story of Duke in the tube. 3 1/16 inch closed length. All steel, Gabon Ebony. Long pull. Cut swedge. Spear point. Pull weight on this one, 6.5. Excellent to perfect walk and talk. Not quite as tight as that first one. This is really nice, actually. Centering is down the middle. Condition like new in the tube with story. This is in your inventory as GEC Titty number 14 Lick Creek number 2. Your price $155, like it is. $170 with an ApostleP edge. And the last knife in the sale from Great Eastern Cutlery's Titty Ute line, we have a 68 Pony Jack, number 682213 STL in ebony wood. So not Gabon Ebony, but Macassar Ebony. And I just hope the light does this justice, because it is beautiful. So it's a 68 Pony Jack in all steel with Macassar Ebony, cam tang knife, spear main, cut swedge, long pull, about a 7 pull. Nice cam tang action. Pen blade on the near side. Three 7/16 closed, so just a tick shorter than a number 15. And stunning. Near mint in tube. Unobtainium. Could not find a 68 Pony Jack in this cover anywhere. It's one of 29 made back in 2013, and man, is it a stunner. Your price on this one, guys, is going to be $225 like it is. $250 I sharpen both blades. It's a GEC Titty Ute, number 68 Pony Jack. And if you didn't notice, the ebony's so beautiful, Bill didn't put a shield on it. That, my friends, brings us to the end of another knife sale on the ApostleP channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Thursday. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys. And Rochelle.